Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Good afternoon, dear viewers out there. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Leadership Podcast Money Radio. This is a new segment of the program and it's on transportation. So every Friday, henceforth, we'll have transportation as your Money Radio program. And a face you are going to see more regularly on this program is EGK. You are welcome.
Thanks for that.
Yes, and I'm your host, Keith Hammer. So today we are discussing railway projects and their implication on the Nigerian economy. The Buhari administration has pumped so much money into railways, railway construction across the country. You can name, of course, this was started by previous government, but the Warri railway line. You have the other one which was started by the previous government, that is Lagos Ibadan Railway, and that railway links Abeokuta also. But yes, it does. It does link Abeokuta. And we have the Kano Kaduna Railway, and a number of them are going on. Of course, we have intrastate railways also. Lagos State Railway is also under construction. That is from the Central District, Business District, all the way down to Okoko Michael, going toward Badabi, according to information filtering down to this studio. So much is being expended on the construction of railways. What implications do these railway constructions have? And want to look at with particular attention, want to look at the Kano Kaduna Railway, which is under construction right now. It's a 206 kilometer railway. You will agree that it's a massive project. And it's actually having a breakneck, it's being constructed with breakneck speed. We are told that just within the next 12 months, 12, 13, 14, 15 months, we are going to have the Kano Kaduna Railway. That is massive. So, why all this? What implication for the economy?
Thanks for having me once more. The evolution of railway, I think I want to use that word, is, like you said, it started previously, but this government focused more on that. The one that Jonathan's government actually started, the person who started it, Jonathan continued, was this Abuja Kaduna Railway.
Yeah.
The Buhari completed and commissioned it.
Kudos to him too also.
Yeah, the Lagos Ibadan was purely started by this government and completed by this government.
You don't mean it?
Yes. They started it, they finished it. In fact, I was privileged to be part of the team that started it, and from the clearing of the grass, the surveying, the clearing to the construction and completion, started with this government and ended with this government.
EGK, I want to give President Buhari a clap. If you make me clap for nothing, I'm going to hold you.
I think it is.
President Buhari did this all
in terms of rail construction. I think it's one of the places where this current administration has a past man. So
yes,
it's a good one. It's a good one. Now we are focusing on the Kano Railway. The project just started last year, and I think it's supposed to be for 3 years actually, but the Minister of Transportation, is insisting that he wants to make sure that this government finishes it before the Labour Office. So which means he has 2022 to do it.
yes, that is something like 16 months remaining.
Possibly, in fact, he's pushing for it to be completed this year. But we never can tell. Look, there are some implications. The Lagos Ibadan, we had a lot of challenges. It took 2 years. It was a contract for 3 years.
Yeah.
It took 2 years because the minister will push you work morning and night to make sure that you actualize that. So it took 2 years. But we have some issues on that. We have pipelines that needed to be rehabilitated because later Lagos.
Yes.
We had so many bridges to be constructed. But Abuja, Kaduna Kano Railway is a different, and the terrain is smooth.
Yes, and it's hard ground.
You will not have all those issues. So I believe that if with the zeal and the push the minister used for the Lagos Ibadan Railway, if that is applied to the Kaduna Kano Railway, I don't think we'll have to. I believe before May 29th of next year, 2023, the railway will be ready.
There's so much to say about this. I'm delighted to hear from you today. I had this perception earlier that this Lagos Ibadan Railway was started by previous governments. It's a good thing you have enlightened me, or if our audience have been ignorant of that, like me, it's a good thing you have enlightened us. Now, all of this has economic implications, and we're talking about positive economic implication because that road between, by the way, that road is under construction. It's still under construction right now, the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. But it's gone to, it has, that construction has actually gone to at least more than 70% now. And it's a good thing. But without infrastructure like the railway, not long from now, we are going to see that road collapse also because naturally, that stretch of road actually links Lagos, which is the port hub, to much of the rest of the country. Yes, and so that is the north, and you have much of the southwest also that is being connected by that road. So if you have a railway to link it, that means it reduces the pressure on the railways, and people actually can move faster, safer. Well, now that we're talking about security issues, faster and safer. And looking at goods also, we can begin to see that the goods transporting goods from Lagos to Ibadan and to the rest of the country is so likely to be easy. Probably easing congestion at the port of Lagos. I'm talking about Papa Port, which is very notorious. Yes.
I think if I must comment there, you see, the target of the battle, Lagos Ibadan Railway, was actually to construct a railway that will move people. But along the line, the minister, I believe he had some professional advisors who made him understand that we should even focus more on moving these containers from the ports.
Yes.
If you move these containers from the ports out of Lagos first and reach Ibadan, that project actually, if I must clarify, is supposed to run from that place down to Maiduguri.
You mean the
Yes.
Papa from Papa?
Lagos, Ibadan.
Yeah.
This Kaduna, Kano, Abuja, Kaduna, these are part of the major project from Lagos to Maiduguri. But because of finances and everything, they are doing it segment by segment. At the end of the construction, to move from Lagos straight to Maiduguri.
Oh.
So this you're hearing Abuja, Kaduna, Kano now, Lagos, Ibadan. We are going to hear Ibadan to Ilorin. That is how they will become until they link it up. But because of finances and everything, we start somewhere.
Yeah.
So the aim now is to make sure that, that's why the minister now brought in the issue of having seaports and deep sea and dry ports in Lagos, Ibadan.
Okay.
We have dry ports, which means you move your containers
To Ibadan. And then transload.
From there, you can move. You will now ease all this issue of road collapsing.
Yes,
so much
it's
of road
likely to be
container falling, all
reduced.
those things will be reduced. Because when you move the ants, at the end of the day, the first time they were just looking at a kilometre to Ibadan.
Yes.
But because of this idea of moving containers and goods from the port, they awarded additional contracts which link the rail from that kilometre to the Apapa port now.
Wow.
Yes, so that one is almost completed too. So when you have that one, that means you can, from the port, you put your container straight to Ibadan. Of course, it's where you have the
dry port.
Dry port.
Yeah.
So people can move it all over the world.
And at the time, President Buhari, in one of the, was it in the 2017 budget or so, he was talking about Lagos to the east, he was talking about a railway from Lagos to the east.
Yeah, there are so many angles. That's why I told you that this project is actually supposed to move from Lagos to Maiduguri.
Yeah,
You know, there is another one, Lagos to Calabar.
that's the route
Yeah,
I'm talking
there are
about.
so many projects. There are so many projects, but I think they are running out of time. I think that they don't have the finances on time. You know, they rely on borrowing
Yes.
and all these things. So I'm not seeing the possibility of this one before.
No, it's not likely.
Yes,
It's not
so we are
likely.
just focusing more on the ones we are seeing, which is purely the Kaduna, I'm looking at Kano Kaduna,
Right.
which is the continuation of Abuja Kaduna. We
That's
want to
great.
extend it to Kano now. Kano
That's-
is the major hub of business in the
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you reach Kano, you move people from Abuja to Kano, they can go
Anywhere
anywhere they
else
know.
in the
And
north.
when you come in, you enter to Kano, you enter train directly to Abuja.
You know, there's another implication I want to discuss, but let's take a short break and when we come back, then we'll discuss more about the economic implication of all of this we're talking about. Stay tuned, listeners.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Welcome back, viewers. You are on to Leadership Podcast, and this is the transportation segment of the program. It's a new one. This is we are debuting this afternoon, and a face you are likely to see more often is Mr. AGK. Good to have you again. And I'm your host, Case Hammond. So we're talking about railway construction across the country, and we're having this specific focus on the Kano Kaduna railway project. Now, there is an aspect of to this issue we are discussing, and it's going to have massive positive economic implication on transportation. When I say transportation, I'm talking about transportation, especially of perishable goods. You know, much of the food, tomatoes, onions, oranges, pineapples, much of the food comes from the north, including yams, come from the north. You have jaws, you have potatoes there, there are so many. You can't name them. There are so many that come from the north. But considering the road between the north and the south, where the food is mostly consumed, especially in places like Lagos, before it gets there, you have so much of it that goes bad. It's because they are perishable goods. Now, the major road between this north and the southwest that we are talking about is in a terrible state. You know the road I'm talking about is this Jeba Mokwa Bida road. That road is the one that links the southwest to the north. You go through Niger and then you go to Jos and then you can spread up to other places. That's the road, and it's a terrible road. I was privileged to, I don't know if I should say I was privileged, but I was forced during the lockdown, COVID-19 lockdown, to pass on that road, and it was regrettable because the road is bad. I traveled on that road in 1994 from Lagos to Jos. It was a smooth ride, but the road has become a death trap now. And when I say death trap, There are places on that road. In fact, the truck drivers recently had to strike because of the condition of the road. There are places on that road that trucks stay for hours. So a journey of one day lasts for 3, 4, 5 days or a week, especially during the rainy season. That's bad. It has economic implications because people who plant their crops and they expect to get profit out of it, after paying to transport it to the market, much of it go bad because of condition of the
You
road.
see, that is one of the importance, and that is why the rail project in Nigeria should be encouraged.
Yes.
Even after this government, any government that comes into power must focus on that. Now you can imagine that you move your goods, perishable goods. Most of them are perishable goods. You move them to the road. You have the risk of armed robbery,
Yes.
bandit,
Yes.
spoiling, wasting.
Yes.
The vehicle breaking down and staying for another 1 month.
Well, that's the point.
Additional cost to transport and everything. But when you're talking about rate, the risk are minimal
Minimal.
and it's faster.
Yes.
You may say yes when I move with my car to Kaduna and you go by that route, but when you consider the fact that your tire may have issues and all these things, you discover that the rail does not have anything like hold up.
No.
It doesn't have anything like bandits coming in, they come and strike. Some of these things are bullet.
Yes.
Even the ones that are not, it's not always easy to attack
Yes.
as much as we have.
The armed robbers themselves like life.
And the focus of every rail project across the world is to move items. It's never to move people.
Yes.
People cannot recover, you cannot get any finance from that.
Yes.
So you focus on moving items. That's why this Kaduna, this Warri type of one is very effective. Because they move things from Warri down to Kaduna. The only thing is that we are hoping that the Ministry of Transport and Federal Government can do something to link it to our to be more effective.
Yes, it will be more effective. You're right.
Whenever you quote the minister will tell you that they gave it out of PPP, public-private partnership,
Yeah.
and some guys came and said they had money, and when they gave them the contract, they went there and they decided that no, they cannot fund it personally. They wanted to go. But I think even if it means government funding it,
It's worth it.
Lokoja
Yes.
to Abuja.
That's just by road is about 2 hours.
Yeah, and it will open up a lot of things. Let me say everything from the south.
Yes.
Everybody that's coming from home, even knowledge, can decide
Yes,
to go and enter in Abo
Yes.
and come instead of risking the road.
Yes.
So we have a lot of the rail projects all over the world have a lot of advantages, and we need to encourage it. The advantages cannot be compared to anything you spend on them. How much money we are wasting on road every year? We are repairing the road.
Repairing roads.
But we have rail projects. Let's try it. We used to have it before in Nigeria. In the old days,
Yes.
when things were good, even though we used narrow gauge.
Yes.
But people who were active then tell you that it was a good one. They can move from Lagos to Maiduguri, even if it takes them 4 days inside the train, but they get there without any problem.
With comfort
And now
also.
we're talking about the faster ones.
Yes.
These new trains, they move faster. The tracks are not like narrow gauge. It's faster.
Yes.
100 kilometers per hour. So you have a lot of advantages, and I think it should be encouraged.
It should be encouraged. Look, part of the food insecurity that we are facing right now, Nigeria produces enough food, but much of it is actually is wasted because it goes bad in the villages where the production takes place, where the farming takes place.
Yeah, and let me chip in something again. I think the plan, that is why I am encouraging government to do. The plan is that this rail project that they are doing from Lagos to Maiduguri,
Yes.
I explained, is that when it gets to each state, it must get to the capital.
Yes.
That is the plan. When it gets to Abuja now, for example, it comes to inside the capital.
Yes.
When it gets to Niger, you should make sure that it gets to Minna. That is the way they planned it. So which means you can link, you gather your goods, everything, and you wait at the stations in your capital.
In your capital.
When the train is coming, you can be putting your goods. These things will move fast.
It will move faster.
No matter what it costs us, I think Nigeria should encourage, the government should encourage to ensure that we have this link between the north and the south.
It's
And even
necessary.
the south,
And the east.
west, and the south
East. Yeah.
We have other projects coming up.
It's necessary. How much does this cost? Even if it means doing this borrowing, this so-called borrowing that is becoming unpopular, it will actually open up the economy. It will open up the economy in terms of transporting goods or conveying goods from one point to another. It will open up the economy, and it's worth it. Let's call it a day with this point that we have just made. It's been a nice discussion. Yeah, yeah. But before we go, let's dwell a little bit on this Kano and Kaduna, because that was our main point from the beginning. Kano and Kaduna, this the road between Kano and Kaduna. Yeah.
Yeah, Kano Kaduna just came up, and some people attributed it to political gimmick.
Yes.
Because of the 2023 election. They believed that the minister was trying to impress the North to give them a budget and maybe look for sympathy votes when he decides to vote for him.
What do you think?
Personally, I will not speak for any of them. I will not speak for the minister. I will not speak for anybody. But if the minister can actualize it, even if it's political, it will help the country.
Yeah,
It will be good for the North, it will be good for the South, to reduce pressure on the road from Abuja to Kano, to reduce the risk people face kidnapping and all these things everywhere.
Yes.
So I think whatever the reason is, or whatever the reasons may be or are, let's encourage people who are doing good work to keep doing good work and ensure they finish it.
Yeah.
Political or not political, it doesn't matter.
You're right. Yeah. So whether it's political or not, it's infrastructure, and it's for the benefit of the country.
Yes, I will need it.
We need it. Yeah. So I just did like the referee who officiated the match between these two. It was Algeria.
Tunisia, Mali.
Yes, the Tunisia Mali match.
Tunisia, Mali, yes, the previous, I think.
I've never seen that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who decided to end the match 2 times for reasons best known to him.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Under 90 minutes. So, not repeating that mistake. Let's call it a day here now. So that's how we come to the end of today's morning radio. You have been on to the transportation segment of the program. It's been nice having you. Thanks for coming. And we look forward to having you more and more and more on this program. Thanks to you, our producers, and our biggest thanks go to you who follow us on this program. This is Money Radio, and on this program, you are kept abreast of the economic and financial issues that shape the destiny. Yes, I will make bold to say that, shaping the destiny of this country. So you are in good company. You are all whenever you are tuned into this program. We want to encourage you to stay with us. Our last word to you is COVID-19 is real. Go and get your job. Observe social distancing. Have a nice day and stay blessed.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.